from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detail. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Chances are, if you're hearing this spot, you're currently in a vehicle. And if you're not wearing a seatbelt, well, that could be tragic news. Wear your seatbelt and please slow down.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
What a spring. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Chris Reese, here to remind you, as your family and friends get outside and enjoy the weather, our team is hard at work helping you plan ahead. 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority, and I want you to be prepared for any weather. That's why I use every tool available for long-range storm tracking to keep you safe and bring you a local forecast that's fresh and easy to understand. Join me, Chris Reese, in the evenings on 5 Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 10.
KDWB, Richfield, Minneapolis, St. Paul, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Craftsman days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
Good morning. We have delays on 494 westbound from Portland to 35W, 694 heavy westbound from Long Lake to East River. On the crosstown, it's sluggish westbound from Cedar to Penn. 35W delays northbound from 31st Street to 94. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Shop sweet savings at Whole Foods Market. Get 16-ounce packs of organic strawberries for $3.99 each with Prime through May 27. Have them as a delectable treat or add them to your favorite baked goods. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
You can do more than listen on KDWB. You can watch The Dave Ryan Show. Just go to YouTube and search Dave Ryan TV.
It is Thursday. The sun is out for the first time since February. It's kind of nice, kind of like that. It's still chilly. Today's high only like 63.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, better than 44 when it was yesterday, pretty much.
Something like that. Yeah, I rode the motorcycle into work today because Carson is home and he needed my car. So I was like, okay, 42 degrees, rode the motorcycle in. Coldest ride ever. Had to pull over by the general store on Highway 7 and blow on my hands to warm them up.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks for your fake sympathy.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't really care. You're an idiot. Don't ride a motorcycle. Make Carson get his ass up, take Susan to work.
I know.
Then you could have had your car. I was shocked to see that also because we all talked about riding together to a big meeting we had this afternoon. And then you rolled it in your motorcycle. So now one of us has to drive?
Yeah.
No,
why would I be the assumed driver if we're going on the meeting today?
Because you offered. You said, let's all drive together.
I did not say ride with me. I said, let's all ride together. Every one of y'all has got a 4-seat car.
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
If I said, let's have a barbecue, are we just going to assume, well, I'm not hosting. I'm just saying, let's do it.
I said, let's ride together. You got 4 seats in your car, Bailey.
The entire back seat is full of stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Like a bin full of bras that I have that I'm meaning to give away.
You didn't learn anything.
And I have another bin full of other stuff, and then like a bag, and then I have these like big flags that I have in my
Jenny,
bag.
your candidate. What are we taking your car?
Well, my car has gym shoes in it, so it smells
Gym
like
shoes.
a hot, sweaty locker room. So that's the option with mine.
Vaughn's driving.
Huh?
Okay, Vaughn's driving. Sounds good to me. All right. I got a text message from, this is such a cool, Joey. Joey is a woman's name. I didn't know Joey's a woman's name. Joey, good morning. Thanks for agreeing to be on the radio. How are you, Joey?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Tell me what happened on this date and what just kind of made you go, I got to call the Dave Ryan Show and tell about this. What happened?
Okay, so this is like a first date, and we meet up. We're just having a normal conversation, and then I notice that he's like staring at my face, like not my eyes, but he's staring at my face because I have a mole on my face.
Okay. Where and how big is this mole?
It's like a half inch maybe from the corner of my mouth. I mean, it's that big, but I mean, it's like, I guess it's big enough to be noticeable for like this, adult to not be able to take his eyes off it.
Yeah. Staring at the mole.
Yeah, staring.
Yeah. He definitely wasn't looking into my eyes. He was definitely staring down. So like we're like 20 minutes into the date, I'd say, and there's a pause in conversation, and he just looks at me and he's like, "Why have you never had that mole removed?"
Jesus.
Oh no.
Come on.
Just straight out like that.
Okay.
I know. It kind of, I mean, whatever. It got uncomfortable. So I decided I was going to make a little joke, and I was like, I was going to get it removed, but then it started whispering stock tips to me, so I keep it around.
You thought of that like off the top of your head?
Well, I didn't know what else to say. It was like a stupid awkward pause after he asked me why I didn't get it removed, but he obviously didn't get the joke because he was totally silent after that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I guess it talks to her.
It's funny because he didn't know what to say back to you, but what did he expect
like,
you
yeah,
to
we
say?
talked for a few more minutes, and then the date pretty much ended.
So he didn't know what to say back after your stock tips joke, but he expected you to know what to say back after. That's stupid but funny.
But then at that point,
asked me why I got it removed. Why I haven't gotten it removed. I was like, dude,
this is one of these things that you probably would think, but I look at people with moles and I sometimes wonder why don't they have them removed. But I've never had a big mole on my face. I'm going to guess it's just part of who you are.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like that's just part of who you are, and it's like it's there. And if you don't like it, then screw you.
But this is a first date. Even the average person that you see on a day-to-day that has a mole, you're not going to say, "Have you ever thought of having that thing removed?"
You might think it. You just wouldn't say
That's
it.
exactly right. Yeah,
I know a girl from college who has a massive mole on the side of her face. It's like most of her cheek is this mole.
Okay.
And people would ask her all the time, "Why haven't you gotten that mole removed?" And she said, "Well, it's a part of my face, and everybody knows me as this girl with this giant mole, so I can't get rid of it."
Okay, right.
And I was like,
Okay,
okay,
gotcha.
valid. So maybe.
So do you think that, I'm going to guess, do you give him a little grace because he was just nervous and like, it was stupid, but do you give him a little grace because he's there? It is like an awkward conversation. He doesn't really know what to say, and maybe he's not that socially graceful to begin with. Do you give him a break on that, Joey?
I mean, I wasn't gonna get. I knew it was going nowhere anyhow. Like, that kind of just was like icing on the cake. But is it a red flag though? Like, is it just him being nervous, or is it just him being rude?
Are you thinking about giving him another chance?
No, I'm no.
Okay, all right, okay.
But I think I just feel like I need to know because I don't know where he was coming from or what his thinking was.
You may never know, but he could have walked out to his car afterward and go, "God, why'd you say that? It's so stupid. God, I was so nervous." Maybe he hasn't been on a date in a long time. Maybe he's just socially awkward. Maybe he's, I don't know, just one of those people that blurts out what they are thinking and can't help it.
That's something you learn as a child, though. You learn to not say every thought that comes into your brain.
Yeah, but don't we all know some adult that just blurts out the thoughts that come into their brain?
Not really, besides you.
Yeah, besides you,
part of my
Dave.
charm. So why don't you get that mole? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Keep the mole.
I'm kidding. Hey, Joey, love your name, love your mole, love you. Thanks for listening to the show.
Thank you, guys.
If you have a bizarre date, we would love to hear about a bizarre job interview, bizarre story, bizarre encounter in the line at Byerly's. Let us know. I hope that we come to mind when something bizarre happens and you tell us all about it.
Mole.
Right. We'll be back in a second on KDWB with a claim that everybody does this. Everybody does this. I don't think it's true. I've never done it before. Was it you, Jenny, that said everybody does this, or was it Bailey?
It was Vaughn.
Vaughn said everybody does this.
Hell yeah.
Do you do it, Bailey?
No, I
Jenny?
would never.
To an extent.
Okay. I've never done it because I don't have to.
You're such a liar.
I don't have to do it.
I bet you everyone has done it.
Okay. What is it? We'll do it next on KDWB. Hang on.
Number one. The Twin Cities number one hit music station.
On your smart device.
101.3 KDWB.
Nominate your kid's favorite teacher for their chance to win 101.3 KDWB's Teacher of the Day every weekday in May with The Dave Ryan Show. Teacher of the Day. If selected, they will win a Teacher Appreciation Prize Pack that includes a $100 Visa gift card, free loaves of bread from Country Hearth, and more. Details on the contest page at KDWB.com. Teacher of the Day. Brought to you by Lowe and the bakers of Country Hearth Breads.
Lowe and the bakers of Country Hearth Breads have made earning cash for your school as easy as eating a sandwich. That's right. Just save the UPCs from your favorite Country Hearth products. They're worth 5 cents each. Learn more at loavesforlearning.com.
From the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
We haven't seen that bright orange ball in the sky in quite a few days, but it's finally going to be out today. Mostly sunny, a high of 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 67.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Minnesota.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Chuck Ells from 45 TV. You know, I may be the head of the 45 TV Institute of Laughter, but I don't discriminate between broadcast mediums, which is why I'm here on the radio today.
Hey, you guys, put down your smokes. You guys, put down your beer. We got a game tonight, that's why another school is here. Tax the rich, your mom is here, and so is your aunt. Straight from Fort Wayne's most prestigious plant. Go fight with all your might and act like you give a crap. Please direct your attention to the 50-yard line, where for your entertainment, the cheer captain will now get pregnant by number 32, Billy Bob Bodine. We had a chance to win tonight. We practiced hard and long, but the QB's got an injury. Set himself on fire with his bong. Wick, wick, wick. Indiana's from where we hail. Look, the coach just got out of jail. Hey, does anybody want to buy a washer? Come see me after the game.
Okay.
Take your time, just in your own words. Tell me why you're on War of the Roses.
We both have an Apple Watch, right? Their relationship is too close at this point, and I think he's using... One girl decides to sit on Adam's lap in the pool.
She came home, and I noticed scratches on her back.
I'll admit, I was wrong. What else can I say, girl? Can't you blame my head and not my
I checked his phone. Sometimes you kind of get the urges, too.
I was drunk, I was gone. That don't make it right, but promise there were no feelings involved.
He has this like blue, nice peacoat, but he comes home and I've been noticing these like long women's hairs stuck to it.
So she strips down, and while she's walking into the bathroom, I see something stuck to her. So I pull it off. I'm like, what the hell is this?
How long has this been going on?
You're f***ing Robert, I know it.
So my boyfriend was caught with second-degree burns from chocolate syrup that he was using to pleasure himself with. We are rekindling our relationship. I basically asked him out right in front of me
Yeah, like we have to go out sometime.
My ex-boyfriend, he needed a place to live. You know, he can live in my snowmobile trailer.
It's my fault, but you gotta believe me when I say it only happened once.
What? I mean, this is crazy. Can we just have like a conversation like real people?
Are you schooling her?
You know what? Can you be a little bit more insecure? You know, this is
She said, save your apologies. Baby, I just gotta know. How long has this been going on?
It's been a long time coming, and I'm sorry.
You're a piece of work. You know, you're a piece of work. Cause what?
I'm a piece of work?
Believe that this is an ex-girlfriend. Just delete that.
You've been acting so shady. I've been feeling it lately.
You go all hang out with your slut brigade every...
Whoa, the slut brigade.
Okay, so then you're admitting it now. You're admitting it. Like, I caught you before and you were lying, and now you're admitting it.
And you're sending her roses instead of me?
She said, boy, tell me honestly, was it real or just for show?
She lied and said that her birth control didn't work, so she was already pregnant. So then they had sex without any protection. That's how she got
Ooh,
pregnant.
that's a dirty trick.
So she tricked him.
I'm sorry, is there any truth to this?
How long has this been going on? You've been creeping around on me.
Your husband put us up to this. Maybe you owe him an explanation.
Yep.
Trick a woman into saying things?
But we trick men too, to be fair. We're
trick
equal
men most of the
opportunity.
time.
Listen, I had to have sex with her. Like, listen, I had to save my job.
I've heard guys squirm on War of the Roses before. You are not even able to complete a full sentence.
I even my psychic had told me that we were soulmates and that, you know, we would have a family, and I just know that this is the right guy.
Okay, well, you realize that sounds pretty psycho.
I've been feeling it lately, baby.
On Songs of the Summer Radio. Hit play on summer playlists for road trips to pool days like summer parties. And yeah, podcasts so good, you can zone out in the shade. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio.
Now live on streaming video, KDWB's Dave Ryan Show is now on YouTube every morning starting at 7 a.m. Just search Dave Ryan TV.
Timberwolves are on the road. OKC tonight. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
They didn't have a good game the other night, but go Wolves.
Ooh.
Always there for you. Frost are doing. The Frost playing?
Yes.
Frost playing?
They play, and they're doing very well. I have to look up the details of their games.
I wish I liked hockey better.
Yeah.
I just don't. I can't follow the puck. It's like, where's the puck?
What's happening?
It was just right over there.
What's going on?
Why is she over there?
Why are they hitting each other?
Now they're fighting.
What's
now
happening?
There's a bloody tooth on the ice.
Not a bloody tooth.
A bloody tooth on the ice.
From the root. Ew.
The Frost lost last night, by the way, to Ottawa.
But not tonight.
Not tonight.
I don't know if they play tonight.
Well, then they're not going to lose
Not
tonight.
the next one.
Vaught made a claim earlier, and we're like, wait. Save this for the radio. So Vaught was put on pause until just now.
I didn't think about this until I saw people doing it because, people are graduating. Everybody's applying for jobs. Everybody lies on their resume, like 1,000%, whether it's a little white lie or just something grandiose. Everyone lies on their resume. You're a liar if you don't. Dave?
I've never had to. I'll be honest with you. My career is a list of accomplishment after accomplishment.
Oh,
I've never had to
Here we
lie. Never had to lie on my resume. As a proud graduate, Pikes Peak Community College, the Harvard of the Rockies.
Yeah.
And then I get a job, and I get another job. I never had to lie about it. I didn't lie that I was an Eagle Scout because I wasn't. I didn't put that on there. I said,
Have you even ever had to have a physical paper resume? Because you work in radio, so usually you have to somehow show your radio voice. So a lot of radio jobs, they don't even care about your resume.
Yeah, they want to know where you work. They want to know that you've had some experience and you know what you're doing and you've had some success or whatever. So, but I mean, okay, so I've never had to lie on my resume because I'm an exemplary person.
Oh, please.
When was the last time you updated your resume?
Dave doesn't need to.
I don't think I've sent a resume in a very long time.
Was it when
Probably
Nixon was in office?
I think Nixon was in office. Yeah. I think it was probably when I moved here.
Wow. I saw this guy that I went to school with on LinkedIn, and he just lied about all these jobs and stuff he did. Like, he said he was like the program assistant at our radio station, which would have meant he was my assistant. Not true. But then I sat back and I was like, you know what? Sometimes you got to hustle and do what you got to do to get a job. Whether it's, like I said, lying about a position or something as small as your GPA. Because who's going to check your GPA? Who's going to fact check that?
I feel like you do get that checked when you're in kind of like entry level jobs. And you definitely have to check that for jobs like engineering and things like that. You do have to have a high GPA for certain kinds of jobs.
Yeah. Did you lie on your resume when you got an iHeartRadio job?
About maybe something small, like I'm proficient in Microsoft Excel. Maybe something like that, because people love seeing stuff like that, little buzzwords.
Okay.
But something you do at a job or your GPA, or some people lie about degrees because who's going to go and check it?
But sometimes they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You're right. I could say I've got a law degree from William Mitchell, and they'd be like, oh, damn, I didn't know Dave had a law degree. That's pretty cool. When'd you graduate? 96. So people would be like, they believe it. Did you lie on your resume, Bailey?
No, like for positions and everything, no. Everything is exactly what it's meant to say. It's all of the positions I've had, all of the work I've done. The only thing that, it's not that I've lied, I just don't include it, is the date for my master's degree, because full transparency, I have half of a master's degree, and this was when I worked for Disney. They were funding it, and then they closed all of the Disney stores and took away my funding. And they were like, okay, you can finish your master's for $13,000. And I said, no, this was meant to be free. And so I never finished my master's program, but I still want it on my resume because I did.
So how do you word it?
So I just
have a master's degree?
Right. Because that doesn't sound good. I say that I have MFA in arts and cultural management. And that when it says for education, like when I graduated, I just say present, as in like I'm still working on it. Even though I'm not.
It's a little misleading.
But I have half of one.
I
so
gotcha.
Like, how else are you supposed to write that?
Right.
Other than like, yeah, I'm still working on it. I mean, it'd be great if I got funding for it.
Jenny, did you lie in your resume?
I'm looking at mine, and I actually apparently have updated it in the last year. I don't know why, but I do feel like I am exaggerated in a sense, because I did put that I am a guest in arena host for the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is a little bit of a lie, because I did audition to be the in-arena host last season, and then they did have me guest host once. So
that's what I'm saying.
But to be fair, I still did do that. I just think it makes me seem a little bit cooler than what I am and have more experience.
It's a little misleading, but it's not an outright lie.
No, but both of those are great examples. Even if it's not a straight up lie, because people are texting, I would never lie. Sometimes you just stretch the truth a little bit. You just exaggerate to make yourself seem more applicable for the job.
I wonder how carefully HR and hiring people check on a back. It probably depends on where you work. I'm going to guess if you are at Medtronic, they do a deep dive on your background to make sure you really did go to the U of M.
Yeah.
And you really did graduate, and you really did get this certain GPA. Somebody says via text, as HR, we do a full background check, so please don't lie.
Yeah, but what's on your background check? Like, that's what I'd actually love to know. What's on a background check? Because I just thought it was,
question.
If you get like a parking ticket, that shows up on your background check.
Yeah. It's not going to say like, wasn't the manager at Bubba Gump's. It was just like a regular employee. It's not going to say that. So I could say I owned Bubba Gump's for all you know. Now, I wouldn't. But LinkedIn, that's another place. It's very easy to lie. Not encouraging it. But LinkedIn, you can pretty much say you did anything.
I guess, I mean, you can, and why would you not believe it? But I would, if I ever hired anybody and I found out, let's say that I hired Bailey, and Bailey said, yeah, she got a master's degree or whatever, I would suspect that everything Bailey has told me is a lie, and I would just not trust that person. You know what I mean? I don't know. Bont says that everybody lies on the resume. Happy birthday, happy 12th birthday to Sullivan. Somebody has been asking over and over for that birthday shout out, so I figured I better get it in. Maybe it's urgent, so happy birthday, Sullivan.
I like this text that says jobs do the same thing on job postings. They lie.
What do they lie about?
They probably lie about what your responsibilities are going to be. They say, like, this is what your responsibility is, and then you come in and you have 20 more responsibilities than what you're expecting.
Yes.
Or you end up doing, I don't know, the manager's job.
We've got a fake name Natalie on the phone.
Okay.
She has a claim in response to me saying everybody lies on their resumes.
Okay, let's see what Natalie has to say. Natalie, what's up? What do you want to say about lying on your resume?
I haven't lied on my resume per se. I have changed titles to reflect what I've actually done, which I think is appropriate. But I have lied about every interview about what I've actually made in order to be paid fairly as a woman.
Oh, you're smart.
Ooh.
So did it turn out good for you?
Yes.
How much did you, what did you lie? Can you be specific?
I've always bumped it up about $20,000 because if a man was in my role, that's what he would be making. And so I'm paid very well now due to the fact that I've progressively given myself $20,000 raises every job change.
What do you do?
I can't share.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
gotcha. We won't pry. We get it.
So when you talk about your salary history, you lie about your salary history so you'll get paid better.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. See, I've just wanted the job. I've never worried too much about salary. I just wanted the job.
Mm-hmm.
So
some people don't get paid as good of a wage though, so they have to lie to try to get the wage that they deserve.
I guess so. All right. Does everybody lie on their resume? This is text says, I am HR and I've lied on my resume. Some entities don't check. The cost way too much for every applicant, so they can't check on every single one of them.
What?
Driving issues only flag for sales or driving positions. Definitely don't lie. Corporate companies check work history, education, but can't check pay anymore. It's illegal.
Oh.
So if you lie and say, yeah, I make $128,000 here at KDWB, they can't go and check.
Yeah, I think that's something actually
crazy
that has been changed in the last handful of years because, I mean, we all have contracts here. That's like how radio works. You have a contract. So I think that verbiage has changed in our contracts.
We got one more phone call. Then we got to move on to Dave's Dirt, and then we got War of the Roses. You're going to talk about War of the Roses when you get into work today, or you're going to call your sister and say, oh my God, did you hear today's War of the Roses? You're going to love it. It's coming up on KDWB. Wrap it up. Last phone call on this one. We've got Kelly. Kelly, you work in HR. What about lying on your resume? What do you want to share?
Mostly, do not lie on your resume when it comes to things like degrees and job titles. I mean, you can stretch the truth on, your responsibilities, but we do check those things. And I've had to pull employment offers because people have lied on their resumes.
What did they lie about that got it pulled?
Just that, their position titles, where they would say that they've been a manager for 5 years, and we pulled employment records, and they were only a manager for a year.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so they're not qualified to, at least with our job posting, they weren't qualified to be in that position.
And I think that's the main thing. You could lie about your GPA. You can lie about the school or whether you graduated, but you can't lie about whether you're qualified because they're going to find out pretty quickly that you're not qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you one more tip about resumes and references. Never give a reference to somebody that you really don't believe in, because somebody got a job on my show, and I'm not going to say who. You could probably guess because they came with a great recommendation. When this person got hired 2 weeks in, I knew that they were not good for this job because the person that recommended them lied about how wonderful they were.
I once had somebody call me for a recommendation for someone that I worked with on the speech team who was a coach, and they were like, "Hey, you know this guy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Oh, he put in your name for putting as a reference, and I was like, "Why?" He did because
Yes.
we weren't. He coached for me for 1 year, and I was honest to this person. I was like, well, I guess he did his job. I wouldn't necessarily say it was sparkling. I don't understand why he put my name down. He never told me. And so I don't know if he got that job, but I felt like I had to be honest.
No, you gotta
he
be
was
honest.
kind of dishonest when he put me down as oh, this woman will put in a sparkling review for me.
Mm-hmm. Good
Girl.
for you. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for that. We appreciate all the comments and calls.
The Dave Ryan Show, 101.3 KDWB.
Brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Jessica Beal's 4-year-old says, Mom is so lame. Now, remember, the kid is 4 years old.
We are back to work after an extra day off. We were supposed to have a show last night, but we didn't because my daughter had a baby last night. My oldest daughter
Wait, wrong clip. Sorry, wrong clip. Here we go.
The new phrase for my 4-year-old is, Mom, you have the worst ideas.
Oh,
you have the
watch
worst
it, buddy.
idea.
Right.
I'm like, we're already there. And Silas is like, don't engage, Mom. Stay back up off the field. Like, he's playing baseball now. He's like, don't say anything. Back up. I'm like, I just said good job.
It's the lamest story. I apologize for the last 15 seconds of your life. Let me do better. A couple of days of wild testimony in the Diddy sex trafficking case. Wednesday was relatively quiet in the courtroom. A Homeland Security agent was back on the stand, spent more time describing some of the stuff he found in Diddy's Miami mansion, including weapons, drug residue, and cell phones hidden inside of a boot. Not to mention lube, baby oil, adult toys, and lingerie. Then they brought in a forensic psychologist. She was brought in to specifically address why Cassie stayed with Diddy, despite the abuse that she insists that she was a victim of. Basically, she said that domestic violence victims fall prey to psychological, sexual, and emotional abuse and experience financial dependence. She says that victims focus on how to stay safe in the moment, which could explain why Cassie appeared to be a willing participant in the freak-offs at times. And I think that's it. They are afraid to leave because they know that things can get really bad if they leave. So they try to stay safe in the moment to placate their abuser so he won't beat her up in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Scary.
There's more, but we'll skip that. Let's see. This is kind of a weird one from Courtney Kardashian. She says, she doesn't really think her kids need to go to school. She said, why do kids blanking go to school? Truly, it's so dated. She added that her kids will send her videos of successful people who didn't go to school. And then I'm like, well, what's the goal here? You want to homeschool? Let's do it.
See, I don't trust Courtney Kardashian to homeschool me because is she a teacher? Does she have an education degree? Does she know how to teach a child?
No, I think she lives in a very insulated world where everything is wonderful, paid for, affordable, and not out of reach. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you live in a world like that, especially, you could say that she's worked really hard, but come on, has she worked really hard?
Yeah.
I mean, has she done like graveyard shifts at Perkins? I don't think she's worked really hard. She has lived in a very insulated, privileged life. So she thinks that the world is just, you wish it into being.
Right.
Wouldn't you also say that going to school is about socialization as well?
Hell yeah.
I think that's where it becomes very different between, if you're capable of being taught at home, sure, that's an option. But like, you don't get the social skills that you build, which you could argue are just as important as an education level that's high enough when you go out into the world and try to get a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. I mean, think about all the socializing that you learned who to hang around with and who not to hang around with. You learned how to feel when you were left out of things. You learned how to be inclusive.
Yeah.
You learn all the socialization skills.
You learn how to work with like different kinds of people, like not just your peers, but like teachers have different like ways of teaching. You know what you learn better like at school. So I don't think it's dated at all, Courtney.
No. I have a family friend who put her two daughters started in homeschool, and then when they transitioned to elementary, one of them got in trouble, and the teacher said, "You're going on timeout," and the kid couldn't grasp what timeout was or why she was getting a consequence.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that is The Dirt, brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Do not leave your radio at this point. You got to hear this War of the Roses because I really think it'll be in the top 5 memorable War of the Roses, along with
Nicholas the Stoner.
Nick the Stoner, the Sprite bottle.
The alien abduction.
Who was the guy that was the rapper?
Oh, Ronnie G.
Yeah. Ronnie G. All right. We'll do it right now. War of the Roses, brought to you by Ovo LASIK and Lens on KDWB.
He loves me. He loves me. Not. Only one way to find out. War of the Roses on KDWB.
Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Tell me your story. What's going on?
Honestly, this might be the weirdest War of the Roses yet. I don't honestly know if you guys can use it or not, but yeah, okay. So my boyfriend Ryan, I was just on his phone recently. I was just wanting to forward a picture of us together outside to my phone.
Yeah.
We trust each other it's no big deal. So anyway, I was on his phone and I'm going to the videos and pictures and I land on like a video that's a picture of a boob. And I'm
Okay.
like, what? Okay, what's this? So I play it, and it's his coworker, like pressing breast milk out of her boob. I don't even know how to say it because I've never had a kid. And like squirting it into his coffee, and he's like laughing.
Okay, wait. Okay, so
I know.
okay,
I know.
So
I know.
I don't. Can we use this one? Because this is a little bit dicey.
Well,
I don't know if we can actually use this one or not.
You're telling me this is more dicey than certain things we've done?
Well, you
a
have a
squirrel.
point. And there's nothing bad or dirty. Just a little. It arouses some questions.
All the above.
So back up for a second. So you open this up, and there's a boob, and it's his coworker, and you know his coworker. She is espressing, squirting breast milk into coffee. Go on, continue. Pick up the story from there.
Yeah, so obviously I confronted my boyfriend and I was like, what is this video? What is this about? And he like laughed about it. He was so light and like not offensive at all. He said they had gone to get coffee at Caribou, and his coworker mentioned that she'd start using her own breast milk in her coffee, and they joked and he was like, oh my God, do it for me. And so he took a video of it because he thought it was such a funny thing. And he was like, he told me, he was like, it's nothing sexual. You guys, all I'm thinking is like, not only is this weird, but like, that is really intimate. Like, you've got to be intimate to see like your coworker's boob.
Well, I was going to say, not only to drink the breast milk, to consume the breast milk, that's intimate.
Yep.
But also, if it was totally innocent and normal-ish, you'd be like, okay, look the other way, or I'm going to go in the bathroom and do this or whatever, but you wouldn't pull out the boobie. Am I right?
No, you don't just whip out a boob for your coworker.
Nonetheless, whip out your phone to record it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even said to him, I was like, listen, like the third thing is on top of all of that, if that weren't enough, I was like, yo, if it was such a funny story, how did you not tell it to me?
Yeah.
Like that was almost the biggest red flag in that moment. I was like, I mean, that is a unique thing to come home from work and just be like, how was your day? And you're like, oh, it's fine. Like you would remember that.
You would remember that. And if it was really innocent, you would be like, okay, you know, Carla down at work, you know what she did?
Correct.
You would, okay. So you're jumping a little bit to conclusions, but with validity, there might be something going on here.
Yeah. So I just like, that's why I'm calling you guys. Because I'm just like, this is weird. This isn't normal. What's going on? What is Ryan doing?
Let's see if we can justify this. Can you justify this in any way? Let's say Bailey. Let's say you and one of the women from sales.
Yeah.
You're on a Caribou run, and she's like, I put breast milk in my coffee. Do you want to try it?
It'd be different because I'm a woman.
Different women.
But would it still be very intimate, don't you think?
Well, yeah, it
You're
would
drinking a bodily fluid.
I'm just thinking like if it was Jenny and Jenny says, Bailey, watch, I'm going to put breast milk into this coffee. I'd be like, oh, heck yeah. But
between us
it's definitely different. It's just different because it's a man and he kept a video of it on his phone and didn't say anything. That's what makes it weird.
Okay. So,
Bingo.
okay. And so he is sticking to his guns like, oh my God, I mean, he's got to admit that you're not really overreacting because that, if I came home with that, Susan would be like, what the F is this? Okay. So, and you know her name clearly.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So we will wait for the name Emily on War of the Roses. So we'll call and Jenny will trap him into sending roses to somebody. And then he should definitely say Emily, nobody else, and especially not the coworker.
Yes. Fingers crossed, guys.
All right. We'll find out what he does on probably the weirdest War of the Roses in a long time coming up next. Hold on, Emily, okay?
Okay.
And now, the dramatic conclusion of War of the Roses. Well, a girl can hope. 101.3 KDWB.
All right, if you missed this one, it was a head turner, a head shaker. Jaw dropper. That's a good one. Basically, she is seeing a guy, and she picks up his phone because there's a picture on his phone that she wants to send to herself. Now, there is ample evidence that he's not guilty by the fact that he doesn't put a lock code on his phone.
Yeah.
Or she knows it.
Yeah.
So she opens his phone. She's scrolling through this picture, sees a picture of a boob. It's a video of a boob. So she plays it, and it is his coworker. They're in the car. She is espressing breast milk into his coffee. God. And she's like, what is this? He's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that one. So she puts breast milk in her coffee, and she said, do you want to try it? So we're at Caribou. And so she takes the cap off, pulls the boob out, puts the breast milk in there. That's kind of funny. Ha, ha, ha. And she's like, no, it's weird. And it is weird.
It is weird.
Because it's a coworker. If it was her, that'd be a different story. And then the fact that he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, like he didn't think to be like, haha, this was a funny thing that happened
People
at work.
on texting are just like, what the heck? I would murder my boyfriend if he did something like that.
Mm-hmm. Someone texted and saying, who's the father of the baby? I can't imagine he would find it funny either.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that one. So we're going to make the phone call and see who he sends the roses to on War of the Roses on KDWB.
That's all the time I needed from you today, Ryan. Like I said, I do have a dozen romantic roses to send out for taking the time to do the survey. So what I'll need from you next is, who do you want to send the roses to?
Oh, sure. You can send them to Emily.
Got it. Perfect.
Whew.
Wonderful.
Okay. Are you ready for some interesting information, Ryan?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
That's my supervisor.
Yeah, well, this whole thing is just it's a trap. It's a fake. It's a trick. It is not a real survey. There's no roses, but we really wanted to find out. Let me explain who I am. So we're on the radio. We're over at KDWB, and we wanted to see, Ryan, who you would send roses to. That's kind of a funny bit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and you did choose Emily. And the funny thing is, Emily is listening right now because Emily wanted you to choose. Say hi, Emily.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, surprise. So it's all been a trap. But Emily was a little bit weirded out. She just told us what we'll call the breast milk story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So after hearing about this, Emily, tell Ryan kind of what you had told us.
I mean, Ryan, it gave me the ick. I mean, I told them about the video, and there's no way you should be drinking another woman's breast milk or have a video of it. And I'm just like, why? I'm telling them, like, why would you take a video that feels so intimate? Why would you not tell me about it? Why would you sit there with her boob out and take a video? Like, if you did, why wouldn't you come home and just tell me, like, so, like, casually, like, never believe what Catherine did today. It's crazy. So,
all good questions, Ryan. I mean, it's none of my business, but I mean, we're all here. What is your response to that?
I mean, I thought it was funny. I didn't really think it was a big enough thing to bring home.
Did you drink the coffee?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the punchline.
That's
all
the punchline.
Yeah, Ryan, like, this is so too weird for me. I just, like, I can't get over the fact that you just drink a coworker's breast milk and the video. And I'm just gonna take a little time for me and, like, be with the weirdness of what happened. And I just think we need a break right now so I can get clear on all the above. It just feels too strange.
I think that's valid.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Ryan? Are you still sticking to your guns like she's overreacting?
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Okay. Well,
I just think it's funny.
And the fact you don't think it's a big deal is a good enough reason for me to take a little space, I think, right now.
Okay. What do you think about this one? Is it okay? We're getting a lot of responses on this one. So he was basically, his coworker put breast milk in his coffee. She thought, well, there must be a more intimate relationship. And he's like, no, it's gay. You're really overreacting to this whole thing. So there's a lot of responses from people who are saying, I would never.
Well, somebody did text in, and I read it earlier, that said, who is the father of this baby? I can't imagine he would find it funny. And then someone else texted in saying, maybe he is the father of the baby.
Oh my gosh. Cody's on the phone.
Cody, what about the breast milk and the coffee and the coworker? What do you think, Cody?
Oh, gosh. So I work at, let's just say, a sports bar downtown. And, they're long shifts, a lot of things going on. One of my coworkers who recently had a baby is pumping and begging and saving her milk. And one day she was like, I feel like I pumped more milk than this. And we were like, what? And she's like, no, this was definitely like full. And so we watched the cameras, and one of the other bartenders was caught going in there and pouring it into a glass and like chugging her breast milk.
Oh, no. Wow. Chugging, just pouring a pint glass full of breast milk and I can see it like pouring down the corners of his mouth. What happened to this coworker anyway?
Well, he doesn't work there anymore, but that's not why. He was still there for a while. And the craziest thing is, after this incident, she would like give him breast milk to drink. And he would make like chocolate milk at work. And it was just the weird, like, he's married and it was just this whole thing. I was like, what is happening?
I wonder, to me as an ignorant male, I think of breast milk as such a personal, intimate thing but I know that women will sell their breast milk to other women. To me, again, ignorant male, to me, that's like just weird. It's giving your baby somebody else's breast milk. And trust me, I know it's done and I know it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I'm an immature 12-year-old at heart. And to me, it's icky.
Well, sometimes they need it. Like if you don't express enough yourself.
Understand. Yeah, for sure.
But then my husband and I actually adopted twins, and I've been on the show a couple of times, but we adopted twins and we've had donated breast milk before. And even that, I'm just like, this is just like so personal. Like, thank you so much for giving us something it's just very personal. I don't know. It was just like the weirdest thing I think I've ever experienced at work.
Yeah, you and I it is definitely, because to me, it's a personal bodily fluid. And I know it's breast milk and it's not sexual, but it's still personal.
Yeah.
But then again, we'll take a stranger's blood. If you're in a car accident and you get your femur lopped off and now you're spurting blood everywhere, they're going to give you blood.
That's a little different.
Yeah, probably. And there's so many different levels of weird. Like, it's the number one rule that you don't eat or drink someone else's food or drinks in the fridge. And this guy's not only doing that, but also taking prized breast milk.
Yeah, but then she would make some for him, and then he would make a milkshake out of it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Hey, is it Cody?
Yeah, Cody. Yep.
Yeah.
Cody, we love you. Thanks for being on the show.
Love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Text messages. Gym bros buy breast milk for the gains. So women will sell their breast milk to bodybuilders to bulk up because it's all protein.
Wow.
I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't ask me. I don't know the breakdown of breast milk.
Jenny, you're a gym bro. You should start doing breast milk.
You have breasts. Tell us about
breast milk. Yeah.
Macros.
I am a gym bro. You're right. I get my protein in every day. Let me go get my smoothie right now. They're made of carbs, proteins, and fats, which are the three macros that you do want to focus on. So that would make a lot of sense.
Here's a text that says, y'all are overreacting. Humans are raised in other species' breast milk, so we do drink cow and goat milk or whatever. It's weird how human breast milk thing is weird. Okay, if I was the only one that thought it was weird, then I would be the weird one. But I'm not the only one. And it's not weird. It's just
strange.
Yeah. I would not want Susan like pumping breast milk when she had babies and like giving it to the guys down at the office and going, oh, it's natural. You know, we drink cow's milk. Why not Susan milk?
Right. Well, the thing with this is that if I'm not going to go on a coffee run with a cow sitting in my passenger seat and the cow goes, hey, you want to know what's funny? Here, let me put some of my milk into your coffee. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. That's what's weird is that it's a person that I'm having a conversation with and they whip out their boob, which usually is covered up. A cow's boob is never covered up. So it's not weird. True. And they can't speak English and they can't speak
Cow
to
can't
me.
fit in the car either.
And they can't fit in a car. Yeah, famously.
Hey, Alyssa.
Yeah, hi.
If you just turn the radio on, Alyssa's calling because on War of the Roses, she busted her boyfriend basically drinking his coworker's breast milk out of his coffee. They were both complicit in this when she's like, do you want me to squirt it in your coffee? He's like, yeah, I'll try it. So there's a video. She found the video and she's like, why are you and your coworker sharing her breast milk? Oh, it's funny. I just tried. It's funny. What a big deal. What did you want to say about it, Alyssa?
I just wanted to say, like, as a breastfeeding mom and pumping a lot, I think it's kind of funny if somebody would have taken a shot. I mean, not like straight out of the boob, but if somebody was like, I dare you to take a shot, and they were like, all right, I would have found it kind of funny.
So let's say you're working down at XYZ Auto, and there you are, you're in the break room, and you're like, oh, you know what'd be funny is for you, Troy, to try a shot of my breast milk, and Troy's like, all right, I'm game. You think that's funny?
Yeah, it would be kind of
okay.
funny.
Now, isn't that interesting how people have different attitudes
and
about
that's
it?
fine, but Alyssa, are you letting Troy take a video of you doing it?
I mean, not coming out of the boob, but like if there was like just like a little thing already pumped, like a shot.
Yeah.
Like a dare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. But
that's a funny
like,
bit.
Right out of the boob. But like drinking breast milk is kind of weird, but like if somebody just wanted to take a sip or try it, I don't know.
YOLO.
It's natural.
It is all natural.
I like that they keep saying right out of the boob, like it's right out of the tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me, I'll take some breast milk
Close
out
the
tap.
spout.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alyssa. There's another text. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon here and move on with our lives. I don't think that human breast milk is the weird part. The weird part is he saw his coworker's nurple. He filmed it.
Yeah.
He filmed it and never said anything. I think that's the weird part. You could put some in a cup in the bathroom and come back and stick it in his coffee. The fact that he wanted to do the whole thing and with somebody there, that's what's intimate.
Yeah.
But then again, some people don't see boobs as intimate. So what about that argument? Boobs are not intimate.
Well,
they are just boobs. So stop making them intimate.
Well, someone texted saying it's weird he recorded it. That's the weird part. But also, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness about it. I think it just depends on what you think is weird and how many aspects of this story is weird. So I definitely see where Emily is coming from, where she's like, you know what? I'm good. I think I'm going to take a break. Makes sense. She can go and think about it.
To kind of figure the whole thing out. All right, I told you this War of the Roses would spark some conversation. Yep. Talk about it with your coworkers at work and say, did you hear War of the Roses today? What did you think of that? There's your conversation starter when you start your big meeting around the conference room table today. All right, it is KDWB on the Dave Ryan in the Morning Show. Go Wolves. Wolves in Game 2, Oklahoma City tonight. You know, the Wolves, they have a chance. They have a chance if the Oklahoma City team bus won't start and they can't make it to the arena, the Wolves have a chance.
Yeah.
So
good luck to them. And hopefully, you know, somebody makes their bus breakdown.
Let's hope so. We were at Cub the other day. It was really interesting. We met so many fun people out at Cub. And I remember one in particular. I remember every single one of them. But there was one in particular that said something that Jenny and I were like, really?
She said, don't ever room with your best friend in college. And so she went on to go and tell us how she went to St. Thomas. And by like the second month in, best friends like their whole life hated each other.
Oh, I
couldn't
hate to hear
stand
that.
each other, not friends anymore.
Why?
Like to this day. I mean, you learn a lot about people when you have to share a 10 by 10 foot cube, which is what dorms are. They're tiny. And honestly, I agree with her because I made that mistake of she wasn't my best friend, but she was one of my very close friends
and
that
you were probably excited, with. Like, oh, hey,
so excited.
I'm going to be rooming with my friend. It's going to be awesome.
And then you learn that like if someone is super neurotic about certain things and then suddenly you can't find something because they put it away and they didn't tell you and you're not even that messy, all of a sudden there's a lot of tension. And then there's just the fact that like you don't know each other's lifestyles and a dorm room is so tiny. To share that with someone who you're close with, it's like someone you're not close with who's a stranger. You can kind of just like ignore each other and leave each other alone, which sounds weird because you're sharing a room. But like to go from best friends to then like hating each other, I wish I wouldn't have roomed with my friend. We were not friends for a couple years. By like senior year of college, we mended that relationship.
Came back around.
Yes. And I mean, we chat every once in a while. We're not really friends anymore, but I wish I would have roomed with a random person myself, because I do not think rooming with your best friend in college is good. And also, like, college is where you start meeting new people. And I think you get in a little bit of a crutch when you have your friend right there.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't have to go out. You can stay there in your room or go with your friend somewhere.
I think even beyond college, like I moved in with friends from college. Right out of college. And so we had like a 3-bedroom apartment, and one of them, I was still really close with her. She was great. Loved her. The other one, I was like, I don't understand how I was ever friends with you, because living with her like ruined that friendship entirely. The second we moved out, like the last day we moved out, I never saw her again. So I've still never seen her again.
But you were friends when you moved in.
We were friends when we moved in, and then we were no longer.
What broke you two apart?
I think it turns into, because I ended up living with the other one for like 6 more years. So it turns into like a pick your battle situation. And one of them, I could like forgive a lot of the annoying things that she did to me, because I'm sure I annoyed her as well. But the other one, it was like everything she did was so obnoxious or disrespectful or just like clueless, and I couldn't forgive it. So I was like, I don't like this person.
Can you give an example?
Just that she would like, leave dishes everywhere. Yeah. And she was like, you guys, I'm going to need the big bedroom because I need that space. And we're like,
why do you need the space over everybody else?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And it made it seem like it was her apartment that we were living in all the time. And it was not fun to live with her. So yeah, the second like we moved out, and she moved out early because she's like, you guys, I need to leave. Like, I need to leave, so I can't do any of the cleaning. We're like, are you kidding me? So I never saw her again, and I still have never seen her.
No loss.
So, but yeah, I mean, it really is like, which ones can you forgive? Like the quirks, can you forgive?
I had a different experience. I did room with a friend, and I'm a person that I like my own space, but I would rather room with somebody that I know as opposed to don't know. Because even though, yes, after time, this friend that I roomed with had, bad habits that I didn't like, or slept till noon, or always had people in the dorm smoking weed, at least it's easier for me to have a conversation with my friend than it is a stranger. Because that stranger can be like, no, screw you. Like, I don't know you. I don't care about you. And it's just weirder, or it's harder to get used to somebody that you don't know's weirder habits.
Having never had you guys all had college roommates. I never went to a college where you had a roommate. But don't people usually, when they have a roommate they don't know, they'll be like, yeah, we've been best friends since we were roommates in college. So a lot of the time a stranger will become your best friend.
I mean,
does that happen, or is that only in the movies?
No, I think that's very true. I mean, I lived with 7 girls in college, and 2 of the girls had lived together ever since their freshman year, because they were random roommates, and then they remained friends and were roommates all 4 years of college and stuff.
Cute.
So I do think that some people, you get a random roommate and then you become best friends. Or you just live with them for a year and then you move on with your life.
Yeah, that was me. I lived with mine for a year and I moved on with my life. And then I was an RA, so I had my own room. So I've only had the one random roommate ever.
Yeah, I remember my daughter Beth, she was at the U, and she got a roommate that she didn't know. And I remember I went to visit Beth in her room, or whatever it was. And there were dirty dishes in the sink that wasn't meant to wash dishes in. It was a wash your face, wash your hands kind of a sink. And there was like old noodles and dirty dishes in the sink. And she's like, yep, that's her. That's what she does. Carson roomed with 3 other guys at Berkeley in Boston. And he's still best friends with one of the guys, lost touch with the other 2.
Were they all random people, or did he know them?
Random, totally random. Yeah.
I definitely think that's a recommendation if like you're going into college, to like leave the comfort of having a friend. Like if you have a friend who's going to the same college, like, yeah, you could room with that person, but like try to room with somebody else, because then both of you will have a new person and you'll be 4 instead of 2.
Yeah.
That's cool, but I'm still against it. I don't like random people that I don't know. It was me and my friend that we roomed with, and then 2 other people, because we lived in like a suite. And there was one guy that we didn't know from a can of paint. And he, such an old people saying, he used to leave like raw onions just all around the refrigerator. Like take a bite of a whole
like
onion.
An apple.
Yeah, it's like an apple. Then just throw it in the refrigerator and would dirty all the pots and pans. And I'd be like, no, this guy has to go.
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, once my roommate and I started having issues, I just started rooming with a U of M football team. So it worked out good for me.
Jenny!
I can't tell if that was a joke or not. I don't think it was.
Jenny!
Jenny!
It could have been so real.
Jenny! It is KDWB. We are live, in case you're wondering. It is 8:05. It is Thursday morning. I admit it. I will admit.
Oh.
Really?
I admit. I have one. I've got one.
Do you?
I use it every day. Probably had one for 10 or more years. I have one. My wife has one. Some people are like, I don't have one and I'm proud of it. I don't care what you think of me. I have one. Do you have one?
I don't have one. But I could use one.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
Does your mama Rhonda have one?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
My mama Rhonda has one.
All right.
My sister has one.
Oh, and your sister's young?
She is young. She's 35.
Jenny?
Yep.
Admit it. Do you have one?
I do have one.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you're only 35.
Yeah.
I'll bet there are probably 19-year-olds that have them.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm surprised because I'm 23 and I don't.
You don't have one.
I do not have one.
No. I didn't have one when I was 23 either. Didn't need it.
I don't see myself having one for a while. I don't need one.
Yeah, I mean, some of my friends recently got one. So
they like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
You ever see it?
I mean, they don't usually have
By
it out.
accident,
They don't
but
usually have it out when I come over to their house. No.
Yeah. Well, I have one.
Yeah.
And I am not ashamed to admit it.
You and Susan have one.
Susan has a bigger one than I do.
Ooh.
Really?
We have a text message thinking what you're talking about. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
They say, is this David's wig confection? Are you wearing a wig, Dave?
It looks like a wig. Because it fits funny. It fits like a bad wig. Like if you were in a theater production, they're like, yeah, you're bald. You need to wear a wig.
It's
It is
not,
not
a
a
wig.
wig. No,
Okay,
it's
it's
not
not
a
a
wig.
wig.
No. What do you think it is? Do you have one? Do you want to find out?
I want to find out.
If you want to find out, let's guess first. Let's have
Yeah.
some guesses.
There's a couple coming in on
Okay.
text.
What do you think it is? I have one, and I fully admit it.
Yeah.
And I feel that if you need one, you should get one.
Mhm.
Susan has a bigger one than I do. Bailey kind of wants one.
I could use one.
Jenny has one. Vaughn does not. Bailey's mama has one.
Oh, yes. And my sister has one as well.
Okay. Is it an electric toothbrush? No.
Mm-mm.
Is it an iron? No.
Yeah, I don't have either of those. But I do have this.
I don't.
Retirement fund? No.
Oh.
401k? No. Foot massager? No. CPAP?
You could use one of
I
those.
could use a
You
CPAP.
don't have one.
I probably need one too.
On a CPAP. No, that's not it.
No.
I admit I have one.
Someone said a bidet. Well, Bailey has a bidet, so
I do
it
have
can't
a
be
bidet.
that.
I love it. I recommend it.
Dave does have a bidet.
I have
too.
a bidet. You gave it to me for my birthday a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Hairbrush? No. Squatty potty?
Ooh.
I do have a squatty potty. I'll be honest with you. I never use it.
Can I have it?
Do you really want my
Yeah,
used
I
squatty
want it for
potty?
the basement because I have
Okay.
a situation in the upstairs that it works out.
I don't really. I don't know. Landline?
Ooh.
No. Theragun? No. Kindle. A Kindle. I do have a Kindle. I freely admit that I have a Kindle.
Is it an iPhone?
No, I got an iPhone. You do not. But people are trying to put together the clues because you don't have one, Bailey. You don't have an iPhone.
I don't have an
and
iPhone.
you don't have one of these items either.
But you know who also doesn't have an iPhone? My mom.
Your
My
mom does
sister.
not. No,
But I
they-
said I don't have one, and I do have an
Vaughn has
iPhone.
an iPhone.
I just don't see a purpose for me having this. Not now.
No, you really don't need one. There would be literally no use for it to have. So basically, if you just turn your radio on, I admitted that I have one of these. Bailey does not, but you kind of want one.
I could use one.
Jenny has one.
Mhm.
My wife has one that's bigger than mine,
Yeah.
meaning it costs more.
Some of my friends have one too. Not all of them. Just a
Some
few
of them.
Address book? No. An Apple Watch? No. And this is, I will be honest with you, it's not something that you would be, it's not something you'd be proud of. It's a little bit embarrassing. It is not really embarrassing, but it's a little bit embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, if you want to find out what it is, you can go on Instagram, Dave Ryan Show, and there is a picture of it. But you have to make me a deal. You have to answer the poll. Do you have one or not? Mm-hmm. And if you can't go on Instagram, I'll tell you what it is next on KDWB.
No one gives away more concert tickets than 101.3 KDWB. And this coming Tuesday, we're doubling up. That's right. 2 pairs of concert tickets to 2 of the biggest shows this summer. The Weeknd and Halsey. And you're never more than 30 minutes away from winning. Dave Ryan gives you the first chance to win Tuesday morning at 7:05. It's a 2 for Tuesday on 101.3 KDWB.
From the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
Dry and warmer days ahead of us. Partly sunny with a high of 68 today. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 67.
This report is sponsored by St. Paul College. Looking to get ahead this summer? Take classes at St. Paul College. You'll enjoy small class sizes and get top-notch student support, and you can save thousands of dollars in tuition. Plus, the credits you earn can be transferred. Classes start in May and June. Don't wait. Learn more at stpaul.edu.
Hannah Berner, None of My Business Tour.
I'm so jealous of bald men. It is so shimmery and beautiful, like a baby dolphin, okay? It's not fair, because when men are hairy, it's fine, they call them bears. You know what they call girls who are hairy? Single, and it's not cool, it's not feminist.
Hannah Berner, live on stage in the Mystic Showroom Friday, October 24th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at the Mystic Box Office or online at mysticlake.com.
What's up? My name is Vaunt. College decision time right around the corner, and of course, you're looking for great academics. Well, the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University has that. But here you'll get more in an incredible community setting. Over 70 areas of study, vibrant campus life, a welcoming, inclusive community, plus whatever you study, arts, sciences, business, you'll find tools for a life of leadership and success. Visit csbsju.edu. That's csbsju.edu. Because choosing St. Ben's and St. John's with their campuses, their communities, their traditions means there's always more to explore.
Come watch pro hockey this weekend at the X. We've got your long weekend plans covered. The Professional Women's Hockey League's Minnesota Frost are back in the PWHL Finals and looking to repeat as Walter Cup champions. Cheer on the Frost at Xcel Energy Center this Saturday, May 24th at 4 p.m. Get your tickets today at minnesotafrost.com/tickets. That's minnesotafrost.com.
Save big on everything for your next outdoor project when you shop at Menards. Shop the best in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber, decking, fencing, and timbers. All easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Get free estimates fast with our easy-to-use fence and deck design programs in-store and on Menards.com. Don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Hey, need a change up from plain old pizza all the time? Well, head to Quick Trip, because we're so back with our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your next meal is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, and chicken delicious. Yeah, we got great pizza. We also got juicy chicken tenders, boneless wings. Dip them in your favorite sauce, pair them with your favorite sides. We got those too, and beverages. Oh, and then there's our crispy chicken sandwiches, full of flavor and perfect for a quick bite. Feeding the whole crew? Well, you want Quick Trip's 8-piece fried chicken meal. Happy chickens in your house, no cooking for you. Chicken that's never ordinary, hot and ready for tonight's dinner, or cold sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. No ordinary options. We got great chicken, pizza, sure, and tons of other options. You know, just in case you want more. We got you covered. Quick Trip. See you next meal.
Hey, it's Dave and Jenny. Before we turn the microphones on, Jenny and I were chatting. I didn't know the average woman spends so much time on unwanted hair, tweezing and plucking and shaving.
Well, yeah, we got the leg hair, the underarm hair, we got the eyebrow hair, all of that good stuff. But there is a solution for that. You can go to Ideal Image and get laser hair removal. And then you've saved so much time.
Right.
So now you can do more important things in life, like scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah, you got to have the TikTok time for sure. Right now, you can get up to 84% off on laser hair removal. Yes, I said up to 84% off on laser hair removal. My wife, my daughter, Allison, have both been to Ideal Image underarm hair removal. They were very happy with the results at Ideal Image. And right now, up to 84% off on laser hair removal.
Call them today to get their promo pricing, not only on the laser hair removal, but also injectables, cool sculpting, and more at 1-800-BE-IDEAL. That's 1-800-BE-IDEAL.
Or check them out online at idealimage.com. Make sure you tell them Dave and Jenny sent you.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
We have delays on 494 eastbound from 169 to 100 and westbound from Cedar to 35W. 694 heavy eastbound from 252 to Long Lake and westbound from Silver Lake to University. Northbound 694 slow from 50th Street to 35E. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Luther Brookdale Mitsubishi.
Luther Brookdale Mitsubishi, 0% APR and $2,800 off remaining 2024 Eclipse Cross. Great warranty, gas and car wash discounts. Complimentary service package, exclusively at Luther Brookdale Mitsubishi. See dealer for details, brookdale-mitsubishi.com.
It's the trial that's captivating the nation.
These are criminal charges.
Now, join veteran journalist and Diddy's former platinum-selling protege as they discuss, debate, and dissect every key detail of the proceedings.
People do believe just the headline and they don't read the story.
Amy Roback and TJ Holmes present Aubrey O'Day, covering the Diddy trial.
Perception is reality. That is literally Diddy's mantra.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Diddy, and listen to the exclusive coverage now.
Watch the Dave Ryan Show on YouTube. Just search Dave Ryan TV. Live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. It's 101.3 KDWB.
I admit it. I have one. And I admit it freely. Man, I'm not embarrassed about it. Our lives are kind of an open book. I'm a little bit, it's embarrassing to have one. You don't bring it up at conversation. Vaughn does not have one.
Nope, never have.
I'd say a lot of young people do not have one, but I'm going to say probably some do.
I think it depends on how you were raised.
How you were brought up.
Okay. Jenny has one. Bailey doesn't have one, but wants one. My wife has one that's bigger than mine. And your Mama Ron. Do you think Cindy has one?
She should, but I don't think she does. She should.
A lot of guesses. Everything from a face and nose hair trimmer, hearing aid. No. Somebody says, I have the biggest one of all. Okay. It is not any kind of an adult toy. So this says, my wife had a hockey injury that required her to have one, and I have to admit, we like it. Somebody did figure it out. Several people did. If you wanted to find out exactly what it is, you could have gone to our Instagram story, Dave Ryan Show. But I'll tell you right now, it is, you ready? It is a pill holder, a weekly pill holder. And I got one probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. I'm like, because I was taking like 3 pills a day. I'm up to 5 now, but one is a vitamin supplement. So it's good. And you just stock it up every Sunday, fill up the little things there. Now, Susan takes a boatload of pills, so her pills would not fit in my little one. She got a bigger one than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this person who texted in saying that they have one, and it's not just weekly, it's monthly.
Yeah, a monthly one, yeah.
It's probably like a sheet of paper.
Oh,
big.
it is, but thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Jenny has one.
I do. I got it for my probiotics and magnesium and all that good stuff that you got to start taking as you get older.
But I do not have one.
No, because you are, at 23 years old, guys are like, I'm healthy. I'm fine. I don't need nothing.
Strong and healthy as a horse.
Yep.
But I used to think it was cool when I was younger. I don't know why, but just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just organizing it. I was like, one day.
One day. Go online or send me a text. Do this just for fun. Let me know your gender, your age, and whether you have one or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bet you there are probably 22-year-old women that have a pill organizer.
And I mean, though, also, it's likely that you wouldn't use one until you're later in life when you do, have joint issues and you need to take a pill for that and et cetera, et cetera. Like, I could use one. I take a lot of vitamins, but I just keep them in the bottle they came in and just pour them out in my hand in the morning.
This makes it really easy because now you have one pour. You flip the little lid, you go, you tap it into your hand, throw them back in your mouth and swallow it.
Toss them back.
Yep. This text says, my dog has a pill organizer.
Hey, some dogs need it.
Love that. Let me know. Send me a text. Let me know how old you are, your gender. I don't think it really matters, but I'm a little bit curious. And then whether you have one or not. And it's okay to not. It's okay if you don't have one. You're still cool. Okay? Let's have fun. Stir the pot. He does it every day at least once.
Whether the mics are on or not.
Well, yeah, right. What's on your mind?
Bar soap does not come anywhere close to liquid like body wash. Liquid body wash is superior than bar soap.
Okay, so you use the squirt.
Yes.
You squirt it onto a washcloth.
I use it's like a body scrubber just because I'm bougie, but like a loofah or something. Whatever you squirt it on. I'm just saying body wash that you squirt is much more superior than having to rub a bar of, I don't know, Irish Spring or Dove all over your body.
Okay, I don't disagree, but I don't use a body wash because it never lathers the way I want it to.
What?
I use my Irish Spring and it lathers up just fine.
I feel like because it's a liquid and it's soap, I feel like that's why it lathers you better.
Well, are you a bar soap just straight to the body type of person?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And then you do get a little more sudsy.
A little sudsy that way, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I disagree with you, Vaughn, because I love bar soap. I feel like once you get onto the bar soap scene, you can't get off of it. And now anywhere I go, I pick up bar soap and I smell it and I always end up buying one bar of soap. For some reason, I feel like the scent is condensed in a bar soap and that it also like moisturizes versus like a liquid soap, which I feel like strips my skin of moisture.
Well, I think a liquid, that when you put it on a little terry cloth, washcloth, it'll kind of strip, exfoliate a little bit. You know what I mean? Or like Vaughn's got a loofah or a scrubber. Yeah.
What do you mean it condenses the smell, Bailey? What do you mean by that?
Because it's all like in a brick. So like the scent of the soap is like trapped in this brick versus the liquid. I don't know why. I just like bar soap. I use bar soap almost exclusively.
Don't you want the smells to be all over you, to be a fresh aroma, to smell like lavender body wash?
Yeah, well, I take the bar soap and I put it on like one of them African net sponges. And then it lathers really well. And then too, like you get it all over the place. Sometimes with like the liquid, it doesn't lather the way I want it to. Which is why I use bar soap.
It does not, yes. And I don't like it when you go to a hotel and anymore they have shampoo, conditioner, and body wash hanging on a bottle on the side of the tub.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't want to.
But bar soap at hotels specifically gets wasted. A lot of the time, let's say you're staying at a hotel 2 nights. You don't use that whole thing of soap.
I take it home
Dave
with me.
goes there. I was going to say he takes his home.
I dry it off in a wash rag, and then I wrap it in a paper towel or a Kleenex, and I put it in my little toiletries kit, and I take it home.
But people that don't do that, it's so much more wasteful. Because if you just have the liquid, the body wash or shampoo or conditioner, just leave it in the bottle. The next person comes squirt it at a hotel.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
It's far more. I feel like you just get lathered up more with the liquid.
I feel that way too, but I mean, I'm a loofah body wash girl. My loofah has seen better days, though. Let me tell you.
Also, you're on my side.
It's turned brown. It's no longer yellow. It's brown on one side.
What once was a circular loofah is now a rectangle of just 12 feet long, basically.
It's going, help me.
Yes.
Help me.
And aren't bars of soap, I mean, I know it's soap, so it's clean, but like if you rub it on your body directly, isn't that a little bit more dirty? Like what if you're sharing with people in the house?
Well, you got to be, I wouldn't share one with Carson or Allison.
Yeah.
Susan, I don't care.
And also, like, I always think too, with liquid soap, if you're going through that quickly, you're throwing out all of these like plastic bottles versus a bar soap is just, that's it. It's once it's gone, it's gone. It just disappears.
Yeah, but it
box
comes in a
box,
container.
and it's wrapped in plastic.
Oh, the ones that I buy aren't. They're like wrapped in a tiny piece of paper.
Yeah? Okay.
I get the fancy bougie bar soap. Yeah.
Text messages saying, somebody said bar soap is way more eco-friendly too. True. Somebody else said, Vaughn out here killing the earth with all his body soap containers.
Yeah.
It's just so illustrious. And then some of the best smells. Like, I don't think Old Spice has...
That's me.
Does that take your birth control?
Yeah.
I stole that joke from Jenny yesterday, and he laughed better today. Just want to put that out there. She did not laugh when she said it yesterday.
When a man says it.
Yeah, just like how I set up a joke yesterday for our big meeting today, and Dave's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm going to say that." And
you
I
bet
go,
I am.
That's my joke. I literally just said that, and you're like, "Doesn't matter.
I'm going to say
it."
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So yeah, stirring the pot. I said body wash, like the liquid, is far more superior than any type of bar of soap.
Okay. Let's get back to the pill boxes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who admit that they have not one, but two pill boxes. Juanita is 53. She's got two pill boxes.
Jeez.
I just got one. I'm 44. I got a bad shoulder. I got a pill organizer. I'm 65 years old. Here's one. I am 23, female, and I've got a pill organizer. So
there's nothing wrong with it.
Female. Yes, I've got a pill organizer. My 21-year-old son has one, and my 15-year-old daughter has one. Helps us know we took our meds for the day. And that's true, because you can be like, did I take my meds today?
Yeah.
And you look at your pill box, and you go, oh, yeah, I already took them.
I think if it was really important for me to take medication, I would need one so that I can like visibly see, okay, it's Monday. The Monday one is open. That means I've taken them, versus mine are just, chewable vitamins. And if I miss a day, I miss a day. It's not the end of the world.
Oh, give it some time. You'll be on some anti-cholesterol drug before you know it. Yes.
Yeah.
The way you eat, I'm surprised you're not already on a cholesterol. Something that unclogs your veins from chocolate.
Hey.
Like, yeah, Bailey down with cholesterol. It's chocolate.
It feels better when my heart has to pump really hard to make my veins work.
Burns more calories.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a second. Speaking of health, there is a new trend this summer that they're calling it a blank girl summer. The blank is a food. It is a food that you don't like, but it's trending on TikTok, so everybody's thinking about doing it. I'll tell you about it next on KDWB.
The Timberwolves are in the Western Conference Finals. Hear every playoff game on the audio home of the Wolves. iHeartRadio and KFAN. Presented locally by TimberTech.
Upgrade your outdoors this spring with TimberTech decks. Get the natural look of wood without the upkeep. Durable, beautiful, and built to last. TimberTech. Everything wood should be. Ask your contractor today for TimberTech.
From the Custom One, MN.com Weather Center.
We haven't seen that bright orange ball in the sky in quite a few days, but it's finally going to be out today. Mostly sunny, a high of 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 67.
This report is sponsored by Mr. Rooter. A leaking spigot can cause hidden water damage and costly repairs. This season, get $300 off a frost-free spigot installation. Supplied and installed by the pros at Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Find the Twin Cities plumbing experts.
There's so many things about this story that I just love. I think even she admits there's some part of the story that's absolutely ridiculous. What happened with your husband that made you say, oh my God, we can do War of the Roses? What happened?
I hope she makes you smile.
I found a pill.
The way you made me smile on the other end of a phone in the middle of a highway driving alone.
I've just noticed that sometimes he comes home and he smells like a different soap.
And there was some sort of smeared substance on her shirt.
I keep finding pairs of underpants in our mailbox.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know she's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends they are so happy. I hope she comes along and wrecks every one of your plans. I hope you spend your last time to put a rock on her hand.
Knowing that he was there and then she disappears, knowing that, giving her the side eye, giving her the look the entire night.
I can't help it that you're insecure about my past relationship. I have said I'm sorry. I've already apologized for that.
Yeah, babe, I hope he shows up in a 2 a.m. pic from a friend, hanging on to a girl to just rub it in. I hope you stay up all night, all alone, waiting by the phone, and then he calls.
So we met this girl, and she introduced herself as, she was like, "Hi, I'm Kendra from Days of Our Lives."
Well, after the fact, he's like, I went, by the way, I was at Kendra's house putting in a backsplash.
Looked at our Target app, and I've never done this, but it shows all sort of the purchase history around Valentine's Day. We also bought this Reese's heart-shaped chocolate box and condoms.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know he's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy.
So I hid under the stairs just in case, someone was going to come over. But no one ever came over, so I was stuck under the stairs for 3 hours.
Like you did on me. I hope you cheat like you did on me.
And Kelly was hoping that you would send those roses to her.
Oh, well, if I would have known she was listening, I would have.
Well, of course you would have.
You're this upset about it. Why can't you just talk to me about
I'm going to get a restraining order or something now. Like, this is one step too far. Like,
honestly, just get off my...
Every guy says, I told that crazy girl to leave me alone.
Yeah. He cheated on his wife, so can you really believe whatever the he's saying? Turns out that I'm basically the last person to know that my sister-in-law and my husband have been having an affair. Everybody else knows.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you guys.
I mean, how long do you think this is going to last, though? Because, he can pretend right now that the phone is not coming through, that the call's not coming through. Because he was so flat busted, he just hung up.
Like you did on me.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
Traffic is sluggish on 394 eastbound General Mills to 94. On the crosstown, it's heavy westbound from 28th Avenue to Valley View. Eastbound, tight from Gleason to France. On 35W, it's slow northbound 46th Street up to 94 and southbound from Stinson to University. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Being slow has its advantages. Never been in an accident, never had a speeding ticket.
He's an excellent driver.
Excellent! You don't need to be a sloth, just don't be a cheetah. Slow down and enjoy the ride. Hey, we can live with it.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
101.3 KDWB.
You can't make this stuff up. 2, 3, 4.
You can forget about strawberries and tomatoes this summer. It's all about sardines. Yep, sardines.
Gross. What?
Hard pass.
Here's why. Them tiny fish in a tin are trending all over TikTok, and not just as recession food. Yeah, they are growing in popularity as a healthy and affordable food, but the sardine aesthetic is swimming right into fashion. Think beaded sardine bags, sardine print dresses, and earrings shaped like little sardine cans.
Okay, that's funny.
Doesn't stop there, though. Home decor is also sardine themed, from pillows and blankies to serving plates. It's all about the Mediterranean vibe, you guys. You know, I'm big into the Mediterranean vibe.
Yeah.
Beachy, simple, and salty. Sardines are delicious if you don't think too hard about what you're eating.
I would try one. I've never eaten
What
one.
are they? Aren't they just little fish?
They're little fish. They're actually called sardines. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're at the bottom of the food chain, so they're very healthy because they haven't got a lot of mercury and lead and toxins in them because they're at the bottom of the food chain.
I get it.
So eat sardines. They're full of protein, healthy fats. They're fish. And you can put on everything from a cracker. You can make a sardine sub sandwich. Load that sub up with sardines.
If I'm a whale and I'm like swimming in the ocean and I open my mouth, are those all the little bitty fish that go into my mouth?
That would be kelp. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's kelp. They take a mouthful of kelp and then they spit it out through their teeth.
Oh, like
and
tobacco?
They trap it like a filter.
Okay.
Yeah, they trap the kelp in there and then they swallow the kelp in there. Yeah, but sardines are the bottom of the food chain. Very healthy, very trendy, and fashionable.
I would try one. And a beaded sardine bag, that's high comedy. I love that. That's hilarious.
Shaped like a sardine can?
Yeah.
That's like prominent fast fashion. That's something that, well, maybe not with you, Bailey, because you are that person that like still uses things that like whatever. But this is the thing that people are going to buy off Shein or whatever it's called, and they're going to use it for a summer, and then it's going to end up in a landfill by the wintertime. I don't like it.
You're not wrong.
I don't like it.
You're not wrong.
Let's
That's
just
why I'm not a big fashion person, because that is what most of fashion does, is you wear it for a season, then throw it away, and it's in the landfill.
So instead of Hot Girl Summer, are they calling it on TikTok Sardine Girl Summer?
They sure are. Yep.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue very well, but okay.
Sardine Girl Summer.
That's hilarious.
If you've never tried a sardine, try one.
I've only tried it because you've made me do it for a bit before.
Did I make you do it for a bit?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think it was okay. Very fishy.
It is very fishy. Yes, they're fishy and they're oily.
But I would, yes, the oil part I think actually was a little more overwhelming than the fishiness.
See, I'd be concerned because aren't you eating like their spine and all their like bones and stuff?
I think so.
See, that
but it's all very, very tender.
Okay, so they soften the bones before you eat them.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd feel like a giant fee-fi-fo-fum situation.
Yeah. They're nobody's favorite food, but they're a nice little snack once in a while. All right. That is, you can't make this stuff up. On 101.3 KDWB. Dave's Dirt's coming up in a little bit, and so hang out for that one. We got everything from the Diddy trial to, what else? Miley Cyrus is talking about why she's got such a raspy voice and how she could get it fixed, but she doesn't want to. Probably a good call. It's all here on KDWB, the Twin Cities #1 hit music station. Give us a little preset. Set us as a preset on the iHeart app.
Think about me.
Well, I'd like to apologize because I was rude.
Uh-oh.
I would like to apologize.
Yes.
I said something on the air a minute ago, and I was
Sound it out.
I was rare.
Come on.
Oh, you've got it, buddy.
You're doing great.
It.
I was Say it for me. I was
wrong.
Right. Turns out that whales don't eat kelp, it's krill. You wouldn't believe the number of people.
You idiot.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe
Who doesn't know that?
Number of people who texted in and remember from 10th grade science class. You don't remember anything else from 10th grade science class, but here you are. Oh, Dave was. Let me text Dave and point out that he made a
You were wrong.
Mistake. Thank you, Bailey.
Gosh.
In Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, what I learned that whales eat are $3 meal deals from Holiday Station stores.
Do tell. Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's crazy. They can get a Johnsonville hot dog, brat, or hot snack, and Frito-Lays or a Polar Pop or coffee for just $3. So that's what they told us in Wisconsin.
Man,
Wow.
those public schools in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Crazy.
One of a kind.
My boy Carson and I went and saw Sinners the other night. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. It starts out like, what's this movie all about? Oh, this is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then it switches gears entirely to a vampire movie.
Oh, fun.
And it is the most brilliant twist of a plot ever. And it's so good. Today, he wants to go see Final Destination, which I'm like, I already saw it, but I would see it again.
You saw it with Vaughn, right?
Your black son.
Yeah, with I got a black son. I got a white son. Same age. Totally different. And Vaughn and I were most of the way back, but there was a row behind us or two. And behind us was a row of, I thought they were teenage girls.
No.
You thought they were adult women.
I thought they were adult women, but they were they spoke two languages, English and then whatever their second language was. And so when they came into the theater late, and it was like a good 20, 25 minutes
They missed the opening sequence late.
Which in any movie is important, but specifically in Final Destination sets up the rest of the movie.
Yes.
But so then they come behind us and I hear them talking. They're speaking, back and forth English to whatever. And okay, you're trying to maybe figure out your seat, get situated. Cool. You can talk for a second. But the movie's going on, and they're still talking. And it's like they're not yelling, but it's at like a regular volume of like speaking. And me and Dave just didn't look at each other, but we kind of like understood like, okay, this is going to keep going.
I saw you turn around and give him a look at one time.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see like what the situation is. Is there a kid with them? Maybe that's the pass I'll give them, but no.
You look behind, you're like, can I take these ladies?
Like, yes.
Can I take them? Yeah.
Can I grab both of them by the head and just clonk them together? And stop talking at movies. I feel like there's basic movie etiquette.
I wonder if they spoke a different language, so they may be from a country where they don't go to see a lot of movies, and they don't understand that in America, there's a societal norm of being quiet in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in a dark room where there's nobody else is talking, so I would pick up a clue.
I've learned never to say anything to people who talk loud in a movie, because I've done it before, and instantly I feel like such a jerk.
Really? You don't even shush them? Because I shush.
No, because number one, you never know what kind of attitude you're going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you disrespect me? Did you disrespect me? Don't you disrespect me, old man.
Right.
So I don't. But the few times that I have, I remember one time I was at a movie with Carson in Colorado. He was probably 10 or 14. And there was a couple behind us talking. And it was during the previews, the trailers. And they were talking just as loud as I'm talking right now. And I turned around and I said, are you two going to talk the entire movie?
Mm.
And they sat silent for a minute. The guy goes, no. And I said, good. And I felt like such an ass. They were probably a couple out on a date, being friendly. They were probably a little bit nervous, not realizing. So I just don't say anything.
But you shouldn't feel like an ass. That's like you're asking them, hey.
Well, the way he went about it.
I guess, I guess maybe.
I think there's a way you can say something without being like really aggressive about it.
Yes, maybe it was the way he said it, but you shouldn't feel like an ass for asking somebody to do the basic thing that you are not supposed to do at a place. That's like the dentist being like, are you going to open your mouth? You're supposed to do that at the dentist. I can't be mad at you for saying that.
Yeah, but I just don't, because and I did it once. I was seeing a movie years ago, and it was the Tim Allen space movie. So that, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a comedy. And there was a row of girls right in front of us that would purposely, they're probably 14, whenever something mildly funny would happen, they would all purposely laugh really loud. just to be annoying.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, girls, that's enough.
Dave.
And Allison and Susan were like, why'd you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I feel stupid now. I feel bad. So I've learned to shut my pie hole and just, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to start anything.
Well, okay. This doesn't really happen to me at movies, but I see a lot of theater productions, and some people also treat it the same way as this movie theater thing where they're like, I'm at home. I can talk full volume. Or they get like super drunk and then they'll respond to the things that are happening on stage or, movie theater, same kind of vibe. And if I was sitting next to these people, I would say something, even though, there could be retaliation. But somebody who's talking in a play or in a movie is impacting everyone else in that movie.
Doesn't matter. No, I think people feel that there's definitely an attitude of, I'll do whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Which is
and
wrong.
I'll be me. No, people are told that. You do you do what you want to do. Don't let people tell you what you can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
We fill people's heads with that all the time. And some people misinterpret that to mean it doesn't matter if it bothers other people. I don't care if you shave your head or put a tattoo of a skull on top of your head. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me.
But this does.
But this does.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get confused and they feel like they are, I hate to use the word entitled. These young entitled youth, they just feel like, that I think that they just think that they can do whatever they want.
I think it's a lack of self-awareness on top of some people are entitled. I'm not going to go ahead and say that every single person that goes into a movie theater and is kind of talking is an entitled human. I think they just don't understand the volume of their voices because I know plenty of people in my life that are very good people, but they talk so damn loud, it drives me insane.
We got somebody on the phone who, his name is Cephas.
Cephas, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What did you want to say about the girls in the movie theater and talking and all that?
Yeah, I'm from West Africa, specifically Liberia. I'm not sure where they were from. However, in most African countries, you go to the movies and it is a norm to talk. You will want to talk. Your neighbors, your seatmate want to talk to you about a movie. And it doesn't matter if the movie is ongoing or not. People's reactions, I've never been to a movie where it's just dead silent. Nobody want to go back there. So it's a normal thing to do. And I'm sure even when I came to the U.S. for the first time, I didn't know that. I was told, hey, you don't talk at the movies. I'm like, oh, well, this is not fun.
Then I'm going to stop.
Normal thing to do. And that's what I miss. Actually, that's what I miss about watching a movie in West Africa or in Africa, I should say, or in Liberia, because you talk to people around you strangers, you meet them, and it's just fun. The reaction, everybody is screaming, yelling, and talking, and anticipating what's going to happen next. It just makes the movie so much fun.
See, now that, but don't you miss the dialogue, Cephas, when you're watching a movie? Or let's say you and me and Vaughn go to Final Destination, and you're chatting away. Vaughn and I are giving you the stink eye and going, Cephas, good Lord, shut the F. Because we can't hear the movie. Don't you want to hear the movie, Cephas?
Well, here in the U.S., yeah. But, back, for instance, in Liberia, you can still hear it, and you will want to talk to your seatmates to anticipate what's going to happen next. Like, oh, I think they're going to, jump off the bat, and everybody's just like, wow, let's see what's happening. And then when it happens, everybody's like, whoa, and,
I love Cephas.
Yeah.
Oh, you would piss me, Cephas. You and I was going to ask you to a movie. You and I are never going to a movie. Dave, you know what's going to happen next? She's going to get crushed by the garbage disposal.
Cephas, you would also annoy me at the movie.
It makes a lot more fun then.
So there is a cultural difference then. So it is a cultural thing. So,
yeah, I would say that. And at first I was like, Cephas, no, I'm not about that. You need to be quiet. But if you and I went to a movie together, I would allow you to speak to me during the entire movie with that sexy accent.
Yeah,
here's the thing, Cephas. Jenny is now single.
Gosh.
She just got hit on by a 17-year-old boy who said, you want to cuddle? And he looks like he's in high school. He's got the backwards baseball cap on.
Yeah.
Jenny's old enough to be his older sister.
Probably.
His mom.
So I would say slide into Jenny's DMs and maybe take her out to a movie.
Yeah.
Cephas and Jenny.
Cephas is like,
do
I'm
they
married.
do they do the popcorn bag trick in West Africa?
No.
Okay, that was
over there. You take your home cooked meal, and when I was little, my mom used to prepare my food from home, like a lunch bag, you go to work.
Yeah.
I go to the movie for like 8 hours a day. Just pack it up, and I go in there, and I'm there, watching all the movies. They show 3 to 4 movies at a time. You pay, for instance, $10, and it's 3 movies. They'll put the poster at the door, like, hey, we got 4 movies going on today. It's like pretty much all day. So my mom will go to work, pack my lunch, and I go to the movies for from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Jenny, you need to date this guy.
Sounds like summer camp.
Jenny's a big eater, Cephas. If you pull, make up some tater tot hot dish, bring the whole casserole dish into the movie.
Jenny, it sounds like he's a big eater too.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
Dave, did you want to explain the popcorn bag trick, or?
I'm going to send you a Venn diagram.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Cephas, it was fun talking to you. Thanks for calling the show.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Never to call back now.
He has a beautiful voice, though.
Seriously,
Wow.
that accent.
He sounds like oh my God.
Jenny is single, and if you're over the age of 17 years old, Jenny would sure like a DM.
18.
Over 18.
I would say no, please over 28. I need your brain to be fully developed and even some life experience after that.
That's overrated.
So thank you.
Overrated.
All the showbiz news you need and some you don't. Dave's Dirt on KDWB.
Miley Cyrus talks about why she has a raspy voice.
I had Reiki's edema. It's abuse of the vocal cords. So my voice always sounded like this. So I have this very large polyp on my vocal cord, which is giving me a lot of the tone and the texture that has made me who I am. But I do have this Reiki's edema and I have this large polyp on my cords, and I'm not willing to sever it because the chance of waking up from a surgery and not sounding like myself is a probability.
We talked about earlier how Barbra Streisand's got kind of a weird shaped nose, but she never wanted to have it fixed because she was worried that her voice would not sound the same.
Makes sense.
Miley Cyrus makes the dirt 2 times today because she's talking about filming a music video in the forest. And then she's talking to Harrison Ford. I guess he's at the next table in the studio or something. I don't know. And she's telling Harrison Ford about the plans to make the movie in the forest. And Harrison Ford talked her out of it.
He goes, you really want to go and set up in a forest and do what? He's like, what? He's like, you're going to bring a crew? He's like, looks expensive. And I came back to the trailer. I was like, guys, we're not performing in the forest anymore. Harrison Ford made a lot of sense.
Joey Fatone is now a spokesperson for Red Lobster.
3 courses for just $19.99. That is a big deal.
Your Uncle Joey was a big deal in 1999.
Oh boy. How about we just enjoy the shrimp?
The new 3-course shrimp sensation. Super salad, shrimp app, and shrimp entree for just $19.99. Only at Red Lobster.
So Scissor.
I love her.
Scissor.
I love Scissor.
I love Scissor so much, but her sibling SZA, she's been touring with Kendrick Lamar and she's been doing all these concerts, and she actually convinced a young fan to not do drugs during her show the other day. Apparently, she negotiated with the fan to ditch a canister of nitrous oxide, which AKA means doing whippets, in exchange for a photo. So she posted a photo of the super whippet canister, which contains all kinds of illustrations and all that stuff, and then took the photo and then took it away from the person so that they would not do whippets during her concert the other day. So she's like my Officer Olsen, who was my DARE program leader. He was so hot.
Jenny is so horny.
Horny today. Damn.
She was hitting on Cephas a minute ago. She's DMing back and forth with a high school boy.
I am not DMing back and forth with a high school person.
Yeah.
So
Don't spread
I get
that rumor.
people in my DMs all the time, and I look at them and I laugh and I ignore. So anyways, Officer Olsen, he also attended my church.
Ooh.
So I got double of him on Sundays and on Wednesdays when he'd come into my elementary school.
Praise the Lord.
You confessing your sins to him? Or he's the one you're doing them with?
Well, I was only in 5th grade, so unfortunately, I don't think that was going to happen. But, once I became of age.
All right, moving on.
We're talking about movies a lot. And obviously, we had the Minecraft movie. We've got the Barbie movie. Yesterday, there was news about the Whack-A-Mole movie. Well, there's a Skibbity Toilet movie in the works from none other than Michael Bay, which makes no sense to me because Michael Bay does all the Transformers movies, lots of big explosions. If you've never seen the Skibbity Toilet video on YouTube, it is very weird, but it's super mega viral. Lots of kids like it. It's only 11 seconds on YouTube, but it's just this guy's head sticking out of a toilet and singing. I have no idea how they're going to turn that into a movie, but I'm sure they just want to, get on the train of making toys and games into movies. And that's going to be the new, and memes. And that's going to be the new thing.
Speaking of movies, the new Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the opening this weekend. I think some shows are movie theaters screen them tonight. Lilo and Stitch opens this weekend, and The Last Rodeo also open up.
Did you see Jelly Roll went to the movies at Mall of America?
I did see Mall of America post that yesterday.
Because him and Post Malone played at US Bank Tuesday night, and so not even 12 hours ago, Mall of America said, "Hey, Jelly Roll, a quick stop at Mall of America to catch the movie theater there." What do you think he watched? Final Destination? Jelly Roll seems like the badass that would watch that.
I would think that would think that is stupid. I'm going to go.
He saw Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Sinners probably. Do we know what he saw? We don't know, right?
No, they didn't say.
Dang it. That's a bummer.
Well, and more dirt. Kim Kardashian just finished her law program. Not law school. She didn't go to law school, but her law program she started 6 years ago. It's called a law office study program. And she held a ceremony for herself in the backyard. I saw pictures on her Instagram. But now, since she completed the program, if she wants to practice law officially, she's going to have to pass the bar exam. And who knows? We might get Lawyer Kim in a couple of years.
That'd be dope. She'd wear really good outfits to court.
Would it be dope?
She's very, very intelligent, but the bar exam is exceedingly challenging.
And she would have like 8 cameras on her while she took it. Get it from every angle.
Totally would.
Oy.
That's the dirt, brought to you by 612 Injured Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. War of the Roses. If you missed it, you got to hear this one because people they could not stop talking about it after we played it this morning. So War of the Roses comes up next on KDWB.
Here's something I really